the organization has, to keep the tradition alive, they have set up a school, International Day of Human Rights. So would you please join me? Nous sommes très heureux de vous recevoir ici aux États-Unis. C'est un grand plaisir pour nous, un grand accueil à vous. Et merci beaucoup au nom de tout le monde qui est ici. Thank you very much. of applause. Not every day, not every month do we get to hear this kind of diversity of music. Look around at the diversity of our group, and here we have something extremely special. We're not going to hear this anytime soon again, probably. So let's give them a big round of applause. This group comes from an Arabic country, from a Muslim country, and we are glad they got through safely. And it's the kind of thing that we need to celebrate, and you are celebrating the rights that are part of our country's foundations and the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The speaker tonight is a very unusual person, and we're very pleased. You saw this in the flyer online. This is not only a medical doctor who practices at Highland Hospital and Kaiser in the emergency room, having learned the techniques in New York City, which is a rough place too. But she is also a specialist in human rights. She is a fellow at UC Berkeley's Human Rights Center. She's teaching a course in the School of Law with another instructor on the rights of health. Her specialty is the protection of human rights in times of complex humanitarian crises and conflict. And that relates to whether people in those circumstances can get access to health care and whether those facilities are available. She has had projects that she's volunteered for, maybe some paid, to work in Africa, in Asia. She worked in after Katrina. She's published many books and articles, and we're really thrilled that she brings something to us tonight that's very special.
So as you all know here today, December 10th is the anniversary of the signing of that Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And what I'd like to talk about today is that specific part, the right to health. So the right to health is framed in the Universal Declaration as everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for health and well-being of himself and his family, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care, and necessary social services. And it goes on for another little paragraph. Now, everyone agrees that part of that right is the basic stuff, the right to be free from torture and from summary execution. But it's harder to decide what that means when you're talking about the right to adequate health. When I was first starting to think about human rights, all human rights were kind of split up into two big categories. There's negative rights, which are basically freedoms, or the freedom from interference by your government. So the freedom from torture, the freedom of speech, freedom from slavery. These are basically things that the government ought not to do to you and to not interfere with. On the other hand, there are positive rights. These are sometimes called entitlements. So these are rights that the government has an obligation to potentially provide, or at least try to provide, like adequate housing, education, nutrition, and the access to health. These are even split up at the United Nations. Civil and political rights on the one hand, and economic, social, and cultural rights on the other hand. But it's a difficult distinction to make because it's hard to have one without the other. It's difficult to have accountability for torture when you're more worried about your next meal. So attacks on hospitals and healthcare is not only a violation of humanitarian law, the laws of war, and a violation of medical neutrality, but it's also a violation of human rights. When you bomb a hospital, it takes at best 5 or 10 years to rebuild that hospital.
How much input do you, and this is a generic concept, and your organization have in policy making? Are there people who, whether from the UN or whatever from it you see, who come to you as an organization to give them advice on how to allocate?
So I think this is a really important question, which is how does the the real world experience change policy. And my role in that now is to provide the evidence and the research that can change that